Hey everyone, welcome back. Today is not going to be a regular video. We're going to be talking about a couple of really important things. This past weekend on March 24th, several strong to violent tornadoes tore through portions of central Mississippi, Alabama, and into Tennessee, causing unfathomable damage. Most of us in the weather community watched this event unfold live on radar and via storm chaser feeds, watching in horror as these storms started to get that look and eventually turn into the worst case scenario that we all hope never comes to fruition. As of Monday, March 27th, at least 25 fatalities have been confirmed throughout the states, with several more in critical condition and others still unaccounted for. The Jackson, Mississippi National Weather Service has given the Rolling Fork and Silver City tornado a preliminary EF4 rating that is still subject to change, but for now it's an EF4, and it's abundantly clear that this was an extremely violent tornado. Honestly, we haven't seen an event like this since Mayfield, and like the Mayfield tornado and outbreak, the National Weather Service had an incredible hold on this event all the way from the forecasting at day 7 up into the event itself with the early warnings and tornado emergencies. But what's particularly tragic about a lot of these tornado disasters is that despite the immense preparation that goes into these events with local, state, and government officials, emergency management, and the National Weather Service, some tornadoes are simply so violent and some communities are simply so particularly vulnerable to these types of disasters that it is a tragedy essentially waiting to unfold. Central Mississippi is well known as one of the most socially vulnerable regions in the United States for severe weather like this, with a higher rate of mobile homes and oftentimes no real community tornado shelters. A violent nocturnal tornado was really a disaster waiting to happen. Vulnerable counties in the Deep South need tornado shelters, and they need advocacy for tornado shelters, and they need comprehensive lists of safer buildings that they can go to should they live in a mobile home or somewhere that is not as safe. This is, once again, a very clear sign that we need more tornado shelters and places for people to go in the South, and they need a list of places that they can go that's readily available to them. And I don't know how many more times this point has to be proven with deadly tornado events. Right now, the people of Mississippi and Alabama are hurting in their communities. And while we can take a step back from our screens after this weekend and go back to our daily lives, the people who have been impacted by these events can't. This is now their reality for the next days, weeks, months, and years of their lives that they cannot escape from. And I recognize that as bystanders to a tragedy in this community, this is a really helpless feeling. So let's talk about what we can do to help, both as individuals and as a community. I want to give you all a comprehensive list of ways that you can help the storm victims, because frankly, there are a lot of different avenues that you can choose if that's something you are interested in doing. And a big disclaimer here, there is zero obligation or pressure to contribute or donate. I understand that we are in an economically really difficult time for pretty much everybody, so I want to make that abundantly clear that there is zero obligation to do so. Another great way to help is actually to just spread the word about these really incredible charities we're about to discuss, so just keep that in mind as well. I'm going to have every single resource linked both here on YouTube in the description. I'm going to have them popped up on the screen, and I'm also going to have them on my Twitter as well. So if you are interested in a specific organization that I talk about, just check out the description and you should be able to find it. Now let's talk about the charities and organizations that you can contribute to if you are someone who wants to help. The first main category is going to be government agencies. You can contribute to a multitude of government agencies, namely FEMA and the American Red Cross. Both FEMA and the American Red Cross are responding right now to the communities You can also visit redcross.org. You can call 1-800-RED-CROSS or text the word tornado to 90999 to make a $10 donation to ensure your donation goes right to the tornado relief, which is what I know a lot of people are concerned about. You can choose to do that both on the website and if you make a phone call. Of course, I will have all of these links down below. I will also have the link for the American Red Cross of Alabama and Mississippi, who are working in the impacted counties right now, setting up shelters and helping feed people. So go check that out if you want to donate to the Red Cross. The next donation avenue we're going to talk about are animal shelters. The first one is in Rolling Fork. It's called the South Delta American Rescue. Of course, they're going to need not only supplies, but they're going to need a financial contribution to help rebuild their shelter. They were hit pretty hard, so they have both a GoFundMe page and a PayPal to help rebuild their animal shelter. I will have both of those linked below. They unfortunately lost a lot of the animals during the storm. The shelter took a direct hit, so just really tragic, and I'm hoping that they're able to rebuild as quickly as possible. I hope they will find some of the missing animals. So that is in Rolling Fork. The second animal shelter I want to highlight is the Amory Humane Society. They also took a direct hit over the weekend, and so of course they're going to need help as well. For monetary donations, I will link their website down below. It is amoryShelter.com/donate. And for volunteering and cleanup, there is a phone number I'm going to list down below as well. If you're in the area and you want to help them clean up, maybe help find animals, whatever they need, if you want to do some volunteer work, you can do so. The third avenue we're going to talk about are individual organizations. Now, there are some amazing groups out there. There's a lot. There's a lot of them. So I'm going to highlight just a few of them that I think you guys would like to hear about as well. These are groups that are boots on the ground, actually working in Mississippi and Alabama right now. So the first one is Team Rubicon. Team Rubicon is a veteran organized and led nonprofit that works disasters exactly like this one. They are in Rolling Fork and other areas cleaning roads. They're getting trees out of the way. They're tarping roofs and just doing really great work out there. They're kind of doing the micro dirty jobs of tornado cleanup right now, so I really appreciate what they're doing. I love their mission so much, in fact, that I've decided to do a fundraiser live stream to donate to them specifically this week. That's going to be on Wednesday or Thursday, so please look out for that. It's going to be coming up soon, so I am just really over the moon that we can hopefully contribute in a positive way to them specifically, because they're doing really great work out there. The next individual organization is Ryan Hall, y'all. You guys know I've worked with Ryan before last year, and I kind of got a little bit of a behind the scenes of what he's able to do, and it's nothing short of incredible. Ryan has raised well over $100,000 at this point for the victims, and they are also boots on the ground. I know Chris Hall is one of the chasers who works with Ryan, and he's boots on the ground. I know they're feeding people barbecue today. They're sending out supplies, so I just want to take a second to say a huge thank you to Ryan and the entire team. I know the entire team works really hard. Now, the cool thing about what Ryan does is that you can actually either buy merch, and a portion of that merch goes to the fund, or you can buy a sticker and choose your donation amount. So in that way, you are getting something out of it as well. So yeah, Ryan and the team are definitely another group that I would recommend considering to donate to. They're just doing really good stuff out there right now. A few final individual organizations I want to throw out there at you really quick. One called Save the Children. Save the Children is delivering child-focused items like hygiene kits, diapers, all of those things to families that are in need right now in Western Mississippi. The link to that will be below. Additionally, you've got the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, which is coordinating state and local emergency food and shelter. So again, that will be linked in the description as well. And one final one I want to recommend is the Center for Disaster Philanthropy, which is going to be focusing on long-term recovery, like rebuilding homes and mental health services, which are so important. We're going to be having a discussion on mental health from this event soon in a different video and a different time. Also, here are some screenshots from Michael Barthel's Twitter of resources and other specific ways you can help out, supplies that are needed, etc. If you're someone who might be in the area and is interested in maybe going over to deliver some supplies. After the news cycle is finished and we all go back to our daily lives, The people in Mississippi and Alabama impacted by these tornadoes are still going to be rebuilding. This isn't a few weeks process. This isn't a few months process. This is a years and a lifetime of people who are going to be rebuilding and people who now don't have a loved one. Right now, what the people in these communities need more than anything is to be uplifted. And as a weather community, as people who constantly talk about and watch weather and our fascination of it, it's, in my opinion, our due diligence to take the time to uplift and help these communities when we can, when a tragedy like this strikes and impacts real people. Like I said, I will be doing a fundraiser live stream this week to raise money for Team Rubicon. I am really excited to do that. I will keep you all updated. I just want to take a second to say thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and just being part of this community. And I hope you all are staying safe, and I hope you're taking care of yourselves.